2019 BMW M850i car review. While the brand new M850i is heftier, brawnier, and of course more expensive compared to departing 650i, basic principles remain similar. That means sleek-to-door bodywork cast around an element set given to more workaday siblings, power coming from a muscular twin-turbocharged V8, along with a dynamic mission that attempts to encompass both sports vehicle and grand tourer. Despite the badge inflation, overall dimensions even have shrunk slightly. The M850 is 191.0 inch length is 1.8 inches shorter compared to the 650i, while its 111.1 inch wheelbase represents a loss of profits of 1.3 inches. It's heavier, though, at approximately 4,500 pounds, despite a structure which utilizes both aluminum and graphite as well as the use of an unpainted carbon fiber roof. Don't fear, the increase in weight may be more than offset that has a sizable hike in power. The M850i uses the identical twin-turbocharged 4.4-liter V8 that we've already found in the impressively rapid M550i, but tuned to supply a stonking 523 horsepower, 67 greater than in the sedan, and 79 more ponies than were found inside old 650i. The torque peak is usually a Himalayan 553 lb-ft, using this available all the way up from 1800 to 4600 revolutions per minute. The engine mates exclusively to a 8-speed automatic gearbox, and its output is dispatched on the wheels via what's claimed to become rear-biased all-wheel drive system. BMW is claiming a governed top speed of 155 miles per hour along with a searing 3.6 second 0 to 60 mph time because of this Titan Leviathan, and odds are it may be a little quicker. The truth is, how was my bimmer? Perhaps essentially the most pressing question for you is how the 8 Series manages to produce on the values implied through the M badge it now wears, because BMW has brought mixed success together with the understudy performance variants that sit one rung below the single integer M cars. We love the M240i, not really much the M550i. We know a full-fat M8 is on its way. Just how much is left within the table to make certain car feels properly range-topping? It was the 8 Series misfortune that BMW made a decision to give us some hot laps for the Estoril circuit in Portugal, a good, technical 2.6-mile course. The BMW is really a tidy dancer, but definitely a considerable one. Initial steering responses are perfect, along with the speeds it might reach on even Estoril's shorter straights left undoubtedly as towards the V8's potency. Although a typical rear steering system tried its far better to help, inside the tighter turns there were more understeer than for good business of rear-biased torque delivery. Brake performance impressed, together with the iron rotors resisting fade impressively well and also the car remaining stable during harder stops. You is going to be entirely unsurprised to see that the M850i felt far happier on public roads. Refinement is outstanding. Portugal was sadly less than the sort of de-restricted autobahn where we suspect the M850i would really excel. The engine is turning a lazy 2,250 revolutions per minute at 100 miles per hour in top gear, though the cabin remains tranquil even for a 3-figure cruise. The adaptive damping keeps the ride, along with the car's considerable weight, under tight control. But whilst the front seats proved comfortable and that has a generous variety of adjustment, the rears are really for occasional exclusively use. Even average-size adults relegated back there sit using their heads hard from the roof and knees compressed in the front seat backs. Although an abundance of interior components along with the overall design theme are given to other BMWs, there exists still a feeling of specialness from the leather-faced steering wheel along with the Christ-like gearshift lever, which seems to be if it may be pulled in the top of the decanter. Unlike some rivals, you never find technology for technology's sake. Many functions are handled by good old-fashioned buttons. The 10.3-inch screen that sits with the center on the dashboard is touch-sensitive, but every function can nonetheless be controlled with all the turn-and-click iDrive wheel. While it shows plentiful symptoms of being an accomplished grand tourer, evidence for BMW's claims how the M850i is also a performance car is more limited. It certainly delivers the ideal level of performance. The V8 is really as happy to increase its rev limiter because it has to surf its abundance of low-end torque. Hard uses with a suitably muscular soundtrack embedded in what we're told is simply a modest quantity of electronic enhancement, and also the Sport Plus mode even introduces some pops and crackles which has a lifted throttle. But that is no Porsche 911. Traction on corner exit has never been an issue. The steering feels crisper and relays more feedback compared to the disappointingly inert helm from the M550i. On tight roads, though, the M850's mass and size are invariably in evidence. Our car was fitted with all the optional active anti-roll bars, which resisted lean well, plus the rear steering's assistance might be felt at lower speeds. But you realize the whole shrinking around you thing? It definitely doesn't make it happen. The M850i Coupe stands in the vanguard of your wave of coming 8 Series variants, including a convertible along with a 4-door Gran Coupe in addition towards the more potent M8. With a base tariff of $112,895, it can be in an underpopulated part from the market, trading for a discount in contrast to blue-chip GTs like the Aston Martin DB11 V8 and the modern Bentley Continental GT, even though comparison to your Porsche 911 GTS may very well be tougher. Still, think about the fact that when we tested the very last BMW 850i last 1991 it cost $91,000. Comparable to about $170,000 in 2018 dollars. That car a naturally aspirated V12 engine plus a standard 6-speed manual gearbox, which are strong positives, but it really mustered barely half the power of the modern version and took nearly doubly long to break into 60 miles per hour. Nostalgia are only able to carry you until now.